Okay, that's an insanely cherry-picked replay. You're never going to find that hand realistically. But I think it serves to show the kind of ceiling that this deck can give. And now that I've caught your attention, this is something that you might see more often. If I wasn't a complete dummy, I could have stopped myself from getting clogged here. I could have made a 5 map Magnus if I traded places with the white, or I could have sent back the Barone and ended up with a 6 map Magnus and then just made another Barone later on. Either way, I think this showcases how the deck is going to play, at least how I would be playing it. And this is what I've come up with. This is Symphonic Quants using the new Dimension for support. Things that are new in this set would be Guitarist. Guitarist. Well, let's talk about the Symphonic Warriors first. Symphonic Warriors did already have synergy with Quants earlier on. We had access to mics and we had access to guitars back in the day. What mics does is it basically gives you another normal summon. And guitar can discard a card and special summon mics itself or any other Symphonic Warrior. And in worst case, you could have also used it as a scale, 1 to 7 scales for your super quants. So now we come to the new Dimension Force support. Guitarist is a new tuner. It is a pendulum tuner, and you pretty much just summon this off your guitars, and you can recur it every turn using your scales, which is fantastic. Also, something very critical to the deck is Beyond the Pendulum. Now, when Beyond the Pendulum is link summoned, she searches out any pendulum monster in your deck, but the caveat is that you have to pendulum summon immediately afterwards, otherwise you can't activate any other monster effects. Two neat things about the new guys. Guitarist, when he is in your pendulum zone, or even when he's in your monster zone, he can actually bounce your scales, or even bounce both of them if he's in the pendulum zone. So you manage to have extra discard fodder for your field, which is fantastic. And beyond the pendulum, if you pendulum summon 2 into the 2 zones that she points to, then you can actually destroy 2 cards on the field as well. So this is a great going second card as well. And since we rely on pendulum monsters so much, I've put in some generic pendulum support. So Darkworm manages to find a 0 scale. Guitarist is a 0 scale as well, and we usually use guitar as our high scale. So 0 to 7 scales, we can actually summon all of our, we can summon all of our layers besides white. We can pendulum summon all of them, and we can pendulum summon our diviner as well. Now, Diviner, as we already know, is another starter for the Quants because it can summon Alphan. But I've also stuck in one of the Sulfur Chords, two of the Sulfur Chords in fact. Sulfur Chord Q tier is a fairy that Diviner can summon. And when she's summoned, she can actually search out our Coolia. Coolia is pretty much just a low scale. If there was another Sulfur Chord low scale, I'll probably run that. If there was a 0 scale Sulfur Chord, I would run that in a heartbeat. This guy is pretty much just a Garnet at this point. It's just a convenient low scale that we can search off of Diviner. We run the Scythe Lock because we have access to Halqifibrax in this deck because we do have access to our Guitarist very easily. So Halqifibrax turns itself into a Wonder Magician when Scythe is on the field. And Scythe is easily searchable because of Dagda, normal Scythe Lock that you've probably seen going around everywhere at the moment. I do run the Dangers just because I like them. Dragon Shrine is a starter with Darkworm, and also we run Distruder as well. So Dragon Shrine is pretty much never a dead card as long as we have a Destrudo in the deck. And Destrudo serves as pretty much another extender. We can go into Halqifibrax, we can link off into anything really, and we can even synchro with it as well in certain cases. Usually we will be linking into Beyond the Pendulum first to search out our guitars or our low scale if we whichever one that we didn't find to then pendulum summon out into. And then we would link Beyond the Pendulum off into either a Halqifibrax or even a Magna. We do need to link her away or get her into the graveyard somehow to make our Borrowload Savage live. Magna is very usable in this deck because we have access to an easy link to link summon Magna into. Appaloosa, I don't really make very often, but it's a very usable thing in this deck. Usually we are left over with leftover Dagda, so we can go into Appaloosa with it, or we can go into Magna, of course, because we do need to. It's just pretty much left over in our combo usually. Barone is what we make usually after we've Scythe locked, because we go into the TG Wonder Magician, and then we have a Scythe on deck as well. We can go into a level 10 Xyz, and that would usually be Barone. I have sided in the Ruddy Rose Dragon, because it is good into the Eldritch matchup. Something else that's good into the Eldritch matchup that we can make is the Crystron Phoenix. So, if you have a level 7 on the field with a Shooting Riser Dragon, you can send away a red or another level 5 and turn Shooting Riser Dragon into a 2 and a 9, makes Crystron Phoenix. When Crystron Phoenix is synchro summoned, that banishes all spell and traps on the field. So, after they've set all their spells and traps, you just summon this guy out and then they're pretty much done for the rest of the game, which is fantastic. Now, the extra deck is very small, and because Crystron Phoenix does need a synchro monster as its non-tuner, you do need to side in 4 extra deck slots, which can be troublesome, but you can easily take out Appaloosa in the Eldritch matchup, and I would probably take out Dagda as well, possibly, and the Wonder Magician, just because I think Phoenix is so strong against Eldritch. Borrowload Savage, I've already talked about. It's very easy to make with Guitarist, and white and red. Also, white can turn into a level 5, or you can use red as well. If you resolve Alphan, you do get a guaranteed level 5 on field in either white or red. If you send away the blue as well, if you summon the blue, you can grab a white and then summon the white out and then send another red to the deck, from the deck to the graveyard to make it a level 5, and that would allow you to summon out your Borrowload Savage Dragon along with a Guitarist. Omega is something that I like in this deck because we only have enough space for one of each of our mechs. If one of these guys gets banished, then Omega can bring it back. Wonder Magician for the side lock, Magnus, I was apprehensive about running the Magnus at first, but I realized that we can easily make it in turn 3. Zeus, because we are an Xyz deck, obviously, we make our Xyzes. Small mechs as well. Rest of the side, I can very easily change. This, I'm not quite sure whether this is an optimal side at the moment, but it's what I've got. I know this deck is very large, so I have been looking for places to actually cut the size of the deck. Actually, I might just cut down Alpha to 2 here. Actually, yeah, I think that's what I might do. But even so, 46 cards, I would like to bring it down from 46 down lower. So if you've got any tips on that, maybe I could get rid of the terraforming as well. But I like terraforming to search out Dragon Ravine. But yeah, if you've got any tips on thinning the deck out a little bit, then those would be greatly appreciated.